I know what's going on with my court. I can talk about my court. I control my court to the best of my ability. You know, we are having to share with another court in another judge's courtroom. So, you know,
Well, maybe even that. You have to share a court. It might be that the fundamentals we need to tell folks about. You share a court with another judge.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure everybody's aware, but if they're not, obviously the Criminal Justice Center, the CJC, is not functioning at all. And so we've all the occupants of it have had to move out, the DA's office, pretrial services, probation department, of course all the court staff, what part the sheriff's office had. And we are pretty much, with a few exceptions, all housed in the civil courthouse now, which means the civil judges had to double up in courtrooms, and the criminal court judges had to double up in courtrooms of the judges who left to go double up with the other civil court judges. So instead of 2 judges on a side of a floor, you now have 4, basically. And sometimes, as it can be with anybody, there's egos involved, and certainly with elected officials, everybody carrying the title of judge. And that can be delicate at times. And I have to say I'm incredibly fortunate to be paired up with a friend of mine, another judge, Judge Bradley. And the judges that we are paired up with, sharing courtroom, sharing a floor with, are people that we know and have been incredibly gracious to us, great hosts. So I feel very lucky in that sense. And because of that, I'm pretty much able to continue on, at least with my court, almost, with some exceptions of course, almost seamlessly, just continuing on right in doing everything that we were normally doing, except for having to go over to the jail for jail dockets, except for, of course, trials, which just started back this week. And that's, you know, we were in trial almost every single week, and now obviously we can't do that. So that's some logistics that we have to work out, but we're working on it.
And for the HCCLA viewer, or the human that's a lawyer, the prosecutor that watches this show, again, you're not obliged to all courts by any means. We're all trying to understand this. Your insight is invaluable. We're trying to understand where we go and how we do these things.
It's, as a whole, it's a continuing work in progress. The funny thing is, about 2 or 3 weeks before Harvey hit, I was actually in a meeting. I'm on the technology committee, and in this meeting we had a discussion about we need to get ready for a disaster, because we didn't have a plan since Allison. There were plans, but nothing had been updated. There's new elected officials, all that. We need to start getting that together. So I was supposed to go to our next judges meeting, Board of Judges, to say, hey, we need to start developing a plan. Well, between that meeting and the next judges meeting, Harvey hits, and here we are. So we have to take plans that were in place, but old enough that a lot of it didn't apply anymore, and try to fit those in and create new situation or new procedures and policies and things like that to get things moving again. And look, anytime we're out of business is not a good time for the people in custody, for the people who have work to do, for the people who aren't in custody but they're still, their lives are affected still. You got victims of crime out there who are wondering what's going to happen with them. So any amount of time is bad. But to go through one of the biggest natural disasters that we've had and to be back up and running, in some sense, within about 2 weeks, I think that's pretty impressive.